In today's video, we're going to talk about the NBA trade deadline, who's winning and who's losing, as well as the men's college basketball standings. My name is Greg. I'm the host of Game Night Bros. Before this video is over, do us a favor and give us a subscribe. That way you'll be able to get our next video where we give you small pieces of sports talk. So we'll get right to it. Today, we're going to talk about the trade deadline. I want to talk about three teams. Actually, I want to talk about four teams. We're going to talk about the Detroit Pistons, the Boston Celtics, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Memphis Grizzlies. Let's go ahead and start with the Memphis Grizzlies. The big thing they're doing is they're basically doing a fire sale, and they are unloading all of their picks, or all of their players, and they're acquiring picks. And right now they have 12 first-round draft picks through the next 5 or 6 years on their books. That's going to give us some draft capital and give them some abilities to make some moves later on if they want to build their team. Is this good? Are they winning? I would say maybe, but I'm not so sure this is the greatest move for them. Now, if they had Sam Presti as their general manager, I'd say they'd not only be winning, they'd probably be in a really strong position. But I'm not sure that the general manager at the Memphis Grizzlies is quite as good as Sam Presti. And if you don't know what you're doing, acquiring talent, then you could just be able to get talent and then it could just destroy your locker room. Unfortunately, that's been the story with Ja Morant, who's a great talent, but hasn't been able to perform and be available for the team in the ways that they need. Hopefully they can learn from this past and actually do a better job. But right now, I would say time will tell whether or not this is going to work for the Memphis Grizzlies. So we'll move up. We'll go to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers just recently acquired James Harden. Now, James Harden, by all rights, superstar, going to be an NBA Hall of Famer. Right now, is he at his highest level of performance? Probably not, but he's still a very good, productive player in the NBA, and he can definitely help the Cleveland Cavaliers. The problem with James Harden is that his history is the problem. He doesn't do well in the playoffs. And that's what you need. You're acquiring him now so you can do well in the playoffs and have a good run. Will he do better than Darius Garland, who they traded away to get James Harden? That could be the difference. That could be the fact that makes the difference. If he performs better than what Darius Garland did, then it's still an upgrade, even if he has a down performance in the playoffs. But I'm not sure this is going to be enough to get them over the hump. It just feels like a superstar trying to chase a ring. And I don't know that the Cavs are completely positioned well to make the run that they need to. Although I'd say they have some good young talent, and they represented themselves last year in the playoffs. So this time will tell. But I think it's probably not going to be enough this year. The Boston Celtics also made a move. They picked up Nikola Vucevic from the Bulls. I think this is a nice piece. Again, I think the Boston Celtics, they have a great organization. They run it very well, and they know what they're doing. I just think that with Jason Tatum out, he's just so integral to what they do. I don't know that this will be enough to put them over the hump this year. But this could be a move that lingers for the next couple of years when Jason Tatum comes back healthy and they keep all of their pieces. This could be one of those moves that's sneaky good that could actually help them for like next year and the year after that. And then the final team we'll talk about are the Detroit Pistons. They picked up two shooters, Kevin Huerter and Dario Saric. These are, I think, really good moves. First of all, the Pistons are already #1 in their conference. They represented themselves well last year in the playoffs when they lost to the Knicks. All they did was get a little bit older, but they're still a very youthful team. But now they have the playoff experience, and I think they added pieces. They didn't go out and add another superstar or anything along those lines. They just added pieces that they need. And I think, not only that, they're a great team, and they've been proving it all year long. I think that's the move that's probably going to be the big one that could actually end up making a big difference in the NBA playoffs this year. So we'll move on to college basketball standings. This is kind of a little bit of a similar situation to what my commentary was yesterday on the Winter Olympics. Who cares, right? And the college basketball, I used to love watching college basketball. I think it was just promoted better. I think they had better announcers, Dick Vitale. And the way ESPN would promote college basketball, it was like a must-see event. I don't know if it just cannot compete with the programming that's out there now, or if it just makes so much money for the colleges and for the broadcast networks that they don't feel they have to promote it the way they used to. In addition, with the players moving to the NBA so fast, you can't really get to know them as well as you used to, which actually made it kind of like I have to tune in and see what's going to go on with the players and with the rivalries. But that being said, this year it's crazy. There's one team that's undefeated, the Arizona Wildcats, and there's 3 other teams behind them that only have 1 loss. And this is going into the first week of February. Does anybody even know this is happening? It's a great college run here at the end of the year, setting up for excellent March Madness tournament. But that's just it. I think most everybody tunes in to March Madness, and that's it. It's a bracket league. That's all it is. People love that they play the games all year long. If you're on the campuses and you're following your teams, I'm sure that's exciting. But as far as a national following, I don't think it's there like it used to be. I think that's sad because I think it's a great college game, and I wish it was. But quite honestly, I think it's one of these things where people are like going to wake up when they get to fill out their brackets, and even then, they're not going to know who the really good teams and sleepers are because you just don't have that information like you used to. But that's my commentary on college basketball. I wish it was what it used to be, but it's going to be a really good tournament coming up this year, and there's some excellent teams out there. We should probably all pay attention because it looks like Duke, UConn, and Michigan are right behind Arizona, and those 4 are really stepping up and going to give us a good show later on this year.